women should stay home and make babies, preferably man-child.
Okay, good evening, folks. Dr. Freedom here with the Times from Dr. News from in and around the universe that may or may not affect you on some deep, dark, and delicious level. Almost as good as ice cream. God, I miss the taste of real ice cream. Like I said, yeah, you'd think, oh my God, he's fat. He eats 100 candy bars a day. Sorry, no, I don't. It kind of sucks when you have an underactive thyroid and you're on this thing 25 minutes a night, and now I'm going to try to get on this thing again, and oh, man. Ugh. And it seems like no matter what you do, you can't lose a freaking pound. But I'm a 10 out of 10 person. It's just amazing to me how the keyboard warriors, some of them which don't even use their own real names, are using terms coined by a guy who shut down a 22-year-old autistic man's channel because he claims, quote unquote, he did it to him first. When meanwhile, there was months and months of him bullying this kid. And I'm not referring to Minnie Matt Smith. You see, we're not even the same. This was happened about 3-4 years ago. But apparently a term's been coined on that channel saying 10 out of 10 people. So apparently we're not supposed to like an episode or, find it excellent. Otherwise it offends this person. Well, guess what? How many fingers am I holding up? And guess what? It ain't 10. All right, moving on. Let's get to the news. Let's get to the stuff you want to hear. Let's get to the really nitty shitty, shall we? Let's bounce right on in with bum, bum, bum. And yes, apparently a bunch of people actually went and filed complaints on the BBC board. Where were all these complaints when there were no classic companions in the 50th anniversary special? All these people have been going, I've been watching the show 40, 50 years. Where were all these complaints when the only classic actor who appeared on the 50th anniversary special was for 3 minutes, and that was Tom Baker? Everyone else was clips and or photographs on a wall. But here we go. We'll complain if you cast a female in the role of the Doctor. And forgive me if I sound a little bitter. Like I said, there's a lot of my friends who are actually calming down and actually saying, look, I'm going to give this a shot. And you know what? I'm really hoping you guys do. Because if you're around, pronounce the show dead, to keep throwing those vibes out there. That's all I can tell you. Some viewers contacted us unhappy that Jodie Whittaker has been cast as a new Doctor. Response from the BBC is the following, quote, since the first Doctor was generated back in 1966, the concept of the Doctor as a constantly evolving being has been central to the program. The continual input of fresh ideas and new voices across the cast and the writing and the production teams has been key to the longevity of the series. The Doctor is an alien from the planet Gallifrey, and it has been established in the show that Time Lords can switch gender. As the controller of BBC Drama has said, Jodie is not just a talented actor, but she has a bold and brilliant vision for her Doctor. She aced it in her audition, both technically and with the powerful female life force she brings to the role. She is destined to be an utterly iconic Doctor. We hope viewers will enjoy what we have in store for the continuation of the story, end quote. I actually had a guy saying, Jodie Whittaker will never be the Doctor. I got some bad news for you. She already is. If you think they're going to reverse a casting decision because you went out and filed an online petition that had like 61 signatures on it, good luck on that, because guess what? She already getting paid. Okay. The Jodie Whittaker 13th Doctor announcement has received, and I believe it's well above this by now, it's well over 16 million views online. The specially filmed scene introducing Jodie Whittaker as the 13th Doctor has been watched over 16 million times online. It was revealed the minute-long specially shot scene debuted on BBC One after the men's Wimbledon final on Sunday and on BBC social media channels around the world. Now, the reveal has been watched 9.8 million times on BBC One Facebook channel so far, with over 2.5 million views on the Doctor Who Twitter account, making it, listen to this, all you guys, the most successful tweet of all time for Doctor Who. The most successful tweet of all time. Let's let that sink in a little bit, all right? Okay, these are performances that will prove Jodie Whittaker will make a fantastic Doctor. Okay, Peter Capaldi has said that anyone who's seen Whittaker in action will know she's ideal fit for Doctor Who. So from Black Mirror to Broadchurch, here's what you can watch. Here's where you can watch some of her greatest performances online right now. Now, this is a 7-pager. So I'm going to leave it to you. All right, it's got some, I think it's got some clips with each one of them and all that. So if you want to take a look at it, boom, boom, boom. That's a 7-pager you got to scan through. But then again, radio times 8 big pages. You'll make it. Okay, this will know exactly the right people. Why casting Jodie Whittaker as Doctor is a brilliant decision. I read this and I found it to be very interesting. This is a guy who was originally against the idea himself, and he just kind of turned it around, and I guess in his own mind. So I'm going to leave this one for you to read. It's not that long. I think you'll enjoy it. Take a breather. All right, Peter Capaldi's salary revealed. He turns out Peter was only paid between $200,000 and $250,000, which, by the way, I believe that's what Whittaker is going to be getting. And the thing is this, if I remember right, and forgive me if I'm wrong, maybe I'm just out there, but I seem to remember, I think Smith made like $350K his final year. And I think Tennant was around the same, and I think Eccleston was through the moon for his 1 year. And by the way, there's someone going out there going, he did it as a favor to Russell T. Davies. Really? That's funny. I don't remember reading that in the writer's tale anywhere. Actually, he was hired to do the role, but that's a whole nother matter. So, interesting here to find out they were getting Capaldi for like $100,000 less a year than the last guy. And keep this in mind, this is not per episode. Here in America, your average actor, who's done well on a series is making more than this per episode. And yet, you see, just to give you an idea just how much the BBC pays and why if you thought Tilda Swinton was going to play Doctor Who when she can make that in 5 minutes on a movie set, hell, that's probably just what, they paid for her on craft services. And she's a skinny little woman. See? All right. And I'm sorry, but oh, sorry, I was going to cut this one because I've already covered it. Sorry. All right. Who's number 2? Death in Paradise star Kris Marshall lined up for the role as assistant Jodie Whittaker's Doctor. Keep in mind, this is the Sun in the mirror, who were telling us that Kris Marshall had locked down the role of Doctor Who. And I was really hoping he did have it. I was really looking forward to Kris getting the role, but unfortunately it was not true, and guess what? Neither is this. Kris Marshall has denied that he'll be playing Jodie Whittaker's assistant. And like I said, they were telling this yarn. If you read this article, they're even saying that freaking Nardole was back and all that. He's not back. Matt Lucas has got a lot of other things he's doing right now, and we're really happy that he got him for the year. We got him for the year that we had him on Doctor Who. I say he's not probably coming back. So, not this year at least. So don't get your heart set on that. So Kris Marshall denied reports that he is set to replace Pearl Mackie as Doctor Who's assistant. Now, there is absolutely no truth in the rumors. And please do not take this as a blow-off. He goes, he is a big fan of the show. But the thing is, no, he did not land it. He is not interested. I think he's doing other projects. So now he's not got it. Moving on. And here's one that's going to make a bunch of you yawn. Stephen Moffat's era will be remembered as a golden age of Doctor Who. Now, remember, this is an opinion piece by this person. But, so I'm going to leave it for you to read. Like I said, it's up to you. But this is this person's view on why he should get all these big props. Me personally, like I said, there was a lot of high points in the Moffat era, but there was also a lot of little low points here and there. But the most important thing is Death was portrayed as a clown, a sad clown. I got sick and tired of people dying 50 times only to be brought back. That got old really fast. Death became a joke, in essence, in the Moffat era, and it shouldn't be. And that's where your drama went right out the window. And I won't even go into how that model works. Okay, Georgia Moffat's going to lead a series of Doctor Audio Adventures as the Doctor's daughter. So, interesting stuff that she's like, now they were in talks for this last year, or earlier this year, So, it's interesting to hear she will be reprising the role of Jenny, but she'll be reprising it on Big Finish audio. Okay, and sorry, I should have cut that, and I forgot. I think that was it. Okay, I thought there was more, but also I wanted to mention it's been a sad, sad week. We lost Trevor Baxter, who was known as Professor George Lightfoot. He was first introduced all the way back in Talon's Wang Chiang. And and eventually these two, him and oh gosh, see, I'm blanking. He stayed on to that role later on in Big Finish. Oh heck. I'm sorry, my brain's is blanking. My brain is baking. Him and Mr. Benjamin, I believe it is, Charlie, who played Henry Gordon Jago, they re-teamed back up later on for Big Finish Audio for the adventures of, Jago and Lightfoot. And it's going to be very sad, too, because they did over like 13 series, I think, or I think they even had more already recorded. And it's very sad to hear of his passing, because it's like, there's never going to be, that duo together again. And they were just so amazing together in Big Finish Audio, as well as, on screen. And it's very hard to believe, it's very amazing. I mean, it's almost like telling this weird fairy tale, because here's two characters that were nothing more than a pair of basically side characters in a 1974, forgive me, I think it's 74. Well, Talons was like 77, very sorry, 77, 78. And here they were, still, those characters were so powerful, they were still resounding even now. And they were such an amazing duo. And it's very sad to hear of his death. And oh man, see, I'm just totally blanking here, man. It's just hard to believe that he's gone, man. It's just, ugh. Matter of fact, let me bring it up again just to be no. Matter of fact, let's bring it up if I can find it. Yeah, Trevor Baxter. There he goes. Here was the article I was going to bring up, and I forgot to put it on the lineup because I'm a moron. So there he is. And Christopher Benjamin, Trevor Baxter. Sorry, we're together since then. And it was very hard. Like I said, just see, I mean, I'm talking over my own tongue, man, because they add on to that, lost Martin Landau this week. And one of the first sci-fi programs I ever grew up with was Space 1999. And he was very, very, a lot of people are like, it's silly, but the thing is, once you get rid of the whole moon part of it, blowing out of orbit, there was a lot of great stories in there in the first series. So second series, there were just a couple here and there, but yeah, man, it's just hard to believe Martin Landau's gone too. And then, it's just sad that you live long enough to see all your heroes die, man. It really is. And I hate to end on a bummer, but what can you do? Hats off to both of them, and condolences to the families and friends and whatnot out there. Okay, I'm going to get on out of here before I ramble myself into tears. Okay, so take care. Ta-ta. Keep an open mind, guys. Really, it's not worth arguing over. Let's just get out there and be Whovians, okay? Good night.